Alrighty. Welcome back to Path of Exile 2, Hardcore SSF. And we're starting Act 4 today.
Just before.
No,
The car
sure.
If anyone can get you there,
Job's a job.
if you can buy then.
And we're basically chartering a ship and moving on. Going to our first area of Act 4.
Welcome. It's with your business.
So, our order of operations here will be Kedge, Isle of Ken, Strike Island, Abandoned Prison, Wakapanu, Arastus, and then you can't do I don't know how to pronounce this word without, fucking it up. The village you can't do until the end anyways. I always do this area first just because it's generally pretty easy. The boss is pretty easy. I don't think I've ever died to the boss in this area. And the enemy types aren't really that hard. I like the enemy design in this area too. Enemy design in this whole act is pretty good. So let's just go over some details from last time. We're still pretty much using mostly the same gear. I got a new chest piece. That's pretty decent. I'm still looking for a better amulet, better rings, better helmet. I have a better crossbow ready to go, but this one's pretty strong still. Because we have the double fizz roll is really hard to get, and it's pretty good rolls, elemental damage, and also level of projectile skills is just, in general, all of that is what I want. And mana on kill is also helpful with sustain. I'm kind of looking for specifically like the new bases for this area. So like the closed helm here. These will still be like the same bases as like in the last chapter, so we don't really want any of this. So maybe these, because that's a new base. The new bases have higher base values in armor and evasion, which is what we primarily would want. I mean, we want them to have good resistances and stuff, but we also want just a higher base level of armor and evasion, because as you go through the acts, your armor and evasion gets less and less. To reach this high percentage, you have to get more and more to keep it going. Otherwise, it just isn't going to work. Which is okay, but it's just going to take a little while. We're probably going to go ahead and go into this real quick, because we grabbed a lot of damage from this, and this in the past several, later half of Act 3, we grabbed basically all this stuff. This is a lot of damage for us, so I kind of want to start this act off with getting some defense, and then starting to pass down here to these big old damage nodes that we're going to be getting, including like Call the Hordes and Bounty Hunter, and finish them. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. So I want to grab these defensive stuff before we go. Maybe glancing deflection too, but deflection it's nice for this build, but it's harder to get a decent enough amount that you can feel the difference. It's very RNG dependent. Evasion seems RNG dependent, but it's not. Not really. So it's like it's harder to make. Unless you're just a straight evasion build, it's harder to make deflection worth it. Pretty much is what I mean. So deflection will be okay, but it's something I'll probably want to grab later when I can maybe afford to have it on gear as well. Like right now, I'm just not going to feel the benefit of
This'll stop him.
Or just getting flat, like armor and evasion, and being immune to like either bleed or poison is a direct benefit that I'll feel. Blackfire crossbow. That's one of 2 new base types for this area for us. Pretty sure I already have one though, like an upgrade, so I won't really be using that. Or like grabbing like white ones right now. If I already have an upgrade from this chapter, I don't really have much of an investment in grabbing another one at this moment. I did not mean to pick up this spear earlier.
Bust this thing open.
A lot of rare enemies here. That's pretty nice. Rare enemies always give the best chance at a rare item that could be an upgrade. Should be okay.
May I have this dance?
Targeting always seems to act a little weird with the enemies that fly like that. Dead Man's Chest is here. It's a torn piece. You collect all these, you do an expedition. I don't really care about doing the expedition. So I'm just just gonna kind of skip that. It just doesn't really have any benefit at this point. 'Cause, I mean, I can just grind expedition and maps theoretically, and just, you know, get value from that if I want. So doing like an expedition here and something that's not even a decent level for it is just kind of whatever. I think you can, but there's no real point in my opinion. So you can do it because it's kind of a neat quest, but this far into the league, I just skip
I
it.
don't know what this fog's doing to me, but it ain't good.
Don't come near
Yeah.
the circle.
Your rare black fire crossbow, that's nice. Doing okay. There's still, in this area there's some enemies that are a little dangerous. They got like the enemies with the cannons and send out a lot of projectiles. As long as you're doing decent damage though, I mean like they're not really super crazy dangerous. I actually kind of want that. Go.
This'll stop him. One down. Who's next?
Okay. This is the area that detonates after a short time, and if you're on the ship, it just kills you. It's pretty funny. I haven't died to it because it's really slow, but yeah. Moving on, and everything's pretty good. Should be on the boss soon, hopefully. This. I'll watch the little babies for those dots. Little dots on the ground right there. Right there too. I mean, we gotta be real careful with that. They do last a little while, and they do a ton of damage if we're not careful. I have actually died to that once or twice. So, it's just important to remember to look out for those when we're doing Abyss. Not like the most dangerous thing, because I mean, you should always just be a little cautious when there's a bunch of enemies like that. Just in case there's something that'll make the corpse explode. A closed helmet is actually something we would want. So we're gonna go back to town real quick.
What have you learned?
Kingsmart Chronicle today. In this issue, all about the strange newcomers in Kingsmart.
A mercenary. A long way from home.
Equip shield. Nope, can't use it. Not even using a shield, so it's not really worth it. It has a fizz roll, but it doesn't have a double fizz, and everything else is bad. Let me see. Am I using this? Which one was it? Level 50. So 4 levels. And this is our upgrade, so again with the double fizz, attack speed, level of projectiles. Although this is probably just better. Overall. Here's the elemental damage with attacks. Is the fizz roll on this honestly isn't that good. It's kind of a shame, but it is what it is. This has potential to be better if it had just a couple other things on it. This is mostly a backup weapon in my opinion. Yeah. This one has potential too. We might be able to make something out of this. But we'll start looking for an upgrade this chapter. If we don't find one, I'm not concerned about it, because again, this crossbow I do have is very, very strong. So I can use it essentially through the rest of this chapter and into like the interludes without much of an issue. So as long as we're like doing fine with that, we should be okay. I don't think that's that big of a deal. The big deal is going to be trying to find like armor upgrades and capping out resistances, or trying to cap out some of them. That's going to be like the main focus that we're going through with the chapters. This chapter anyways.
Dodge this!
I mean, at the end of the day, if I check the merchants enough and stuff like that, I can find what I'm looking for in terms of a weapon upgrade pretty reliably, but finding armor upgrades is a little bit harder. That's because we're looking for armor and evasion items. Hopefully armor and evasion together. If it's not, that's fine, but if it's like one or the other, that's okay. Because we can use both, but it's just, eh. Okay. Pirate Man.
You sure about that?
No money.
Shiny, strange, probably cursed.
Yeah, it's not too bad. He has a slam, but the slam takes him like 10 years to wind up, so
What have you learned?
I don't even know if it'll kill me. I've never been actually hit by it.
Well, we've had no fair. Come on. There we go.
There we go. Grab this.
Survive.
This is fire damage. We don't care about fire damage. Armor applies to elemental damage is such a good stat, but everything else on here is kind of dog. So we throw that away. Accuracy and light radius is literally the worst roll on a helmet, I think. So that's just unfortunate.
well met. I've forged
See what
a
he
few
has.
fineries.
This is
Carve your way
maybe
through
with
history
upgrading.
with that one. Survived.
Might be worth something. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a low roll for attack speed, but I guess we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I just do that. I mean, that way we do have a very small upgrade, but it's still an upgrade. So we take it. I don't want to do that. My stash is very sloppy at the moment, so bear with me. Alright. So we'll go back to Journey's End.
Yes, Lord. Please hurry.
Exposition dumping.
Please hurry
And we're
back.
pretty much just doink. So,
What's going on?
Oh, we've been played, haven't we? I'm out of here.
This is all an illusion.
Stop them in their tracks! Take more mana! I've only got one for you. You know that, don't you, you foggy bastard?
alright, well, we freed him. Basically an introduction to Delirium, if you're interested in that. It's an in-game mechanic. End-game mechanic, not in-game.
Nice
But
try.
yeah, and it shows up quite a bit in the end-game if you like it. Omniphobia is one of the bosses that you have to fight. He's the easiest one of the two. By a lot. The other one is Kosis, and Kosis is a massive pain to deal with.
We made it.
Let's go. Here we are.
But Delirium is a pretty good mechanic overall. It makes the maps harder, but it also adds a lot more reward.
used to be nothing more than a nuisance. But now that volcano rumbles like it's hungry. But alright. To myself.
Yeah, a little boatman gives you a little bit of backstory of the area if you're interested.
You're ugly.
Pretty much here it's just little goblins. Little goblins serve giant because they're scared of him.
If anything kinfolk want that bad, best live buried.
Who's next?
Mining this yellow stuff, it's basically sulfur, but it's called sulfite. It's magical. Gives like different properties to different things. The giant that is their leader wants it because he likes to eat it. This isn't like advisable for normal humans, but he's obviously not, so it's fine. I think he might be slightly insane, I guess. But hard to be considered insane when you didn't have much of a thought process to begin with, so.
Who's next?
There's not very much in this area, I don't think. There's just, we have to like last time, we have to go through a door to get to like the second part of the area. The first part, there's, you know, you can free some of their captors.
These creatures would do the same to me, given the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, that's another piece of the map if you want it. There is a boss in this area that gives skill points though, so make sure if you're going through this area, you either like fight him before you move on, or you make sure to make a note of it and come back and deal with him if you want to over level him. I don't know why you would want to over level him, he's not really that hard. I like his design, but he's not exactly what I would call a difficult fight. He's right here. That's a pretty cool arena.
Walk right into this one.
Not yet. Need more mana.
Doing this, you basically just want to stay away from him. It doesn't do anything super crazy. Yeah, and that's it. You just kill him and move on.
Freeze.
All the little goblins, the Ken or whatever, are very upset at you for, you know, killing their favorite, you know, gladiator. We were supposed to die there for them, but they're very upset with the fact that we didn't, so naturally they all want to kill us, which is cool. Never works, but it's, you know, I guess more admirable than running away from me. That's an unfortunate cost, not even an enemy well.
Where'd I go?
Well, this is the entrance to the further into the lines, but we are going to go ahead and finish up this before we keep moving. Might as well. Abysses can be very rewarding. that's a better coffer there. Coffers always give currency, so that's why coffers are probably the best ones to get. Yeah, we almost have tolerant equipment, so after that we're going to move on down. Crystalline resistance might not be bad, actually. Scaling some max res, just by nature of having a decent amount of support gems.
I feel like I'm being slow roasted here.
Quickly.
Hear ye, hear ye. Fresh tidings. The newcomer fixed the fog, but at what cost?
What can I do for? Let's deal. Fair enough. Have a good day.
Alright, I don't want to put that in here. Oh, well, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, there it is. Yes. Alright, so we got some more points. That means with that, we can finally put on Overwhelming Presence. Which is nice. Before we go on any farther though, we're going to go ahead and do the Temple of Chaos. I kind of usually do this at the end of Act 3, like after, like right before Doriani, like, after I kill Viper, I usually just go ahead and get into the Black Chambers, get the waypoint, and go do the Chaos Trials. But I forgot to last time I was there, so it's fine. We can just do it now. This is probably the most consistent way I've found to do Trial of Chaos, at least the first one, without dying. The bosses aren't crazy hard, but when you first get it at like level 38, your character usually doesn't have the greatest of gear, so it just is hard to it's just hard to make anything happen sometimes, or like you can just get unlucky with modifiers and your character can get one shot by some of the bosses. But now we're extremely over leveled, so we'll probably just curb stomp everything. Over leveling for your trials will generally yield very good results. You don't obviously need... What? Why is that not hitting him? Whatever. You don't obviously need to over level, but it makes it a lot less stressful. As you can see, this is very easy. I don't think I took any damage at all, hardly. It's still beneficial to learn each of the bosses here, and which modifiers are safe and which ones aren't. Toxic monsters is very annoying. You're not going to get hit very much anyways, but when you do, if you get hit multiple times, this will keep stacking. This is very, very annoying. Or can be, at least, if you're not 100% able to avoid everything. Shielding monsters is honestly not that bad. It gives them like a little bit more HP, I guess, but it's nothing crazy. Stalking Shade is also not very hard. It's just kind of annoying if you have to do certain... The third like room of this trial can make it so the shade's kind of annoying. Shade can also be kind of annoying during boss fights. Because if you're fighting like the Skies here, you don't really have time to pay attention to them. This is for just surviving. The first modifier I took was also the lightning circles. If you have the lightning circles, always take them. They're very easy. I'll show, like, you can just stand in them for a while. And then when they pop, you can kind of just walk away. So the lightning circles are very safe. Like, that is basically a free modifier. The lightning circles are almost like completely free. I think they kind of hurt if you stand in them, but like, just don't stand in them for like 10 minutes. Like, there's no like complex dodging or like timing that you need to get down. Just don't stand in them for like literally the entire duration of whatever you're doing, and you're not gonna get hit by them ever. Oh, that was weird. He just froze there for a second. Alright, and now we're going up. Continuing onwards.
We are only getting started.
Okay, so kind of important here. Petrification statues and the Val Omnitech are both kind of terrible. The Val Omnitech is not the hardest thing to avoid, but it does a lot of damage. Petrification statues can absolutely just get you killed. So burning turrets, these are also basically free. They don't do very much of anything. Like, they'll do a little bit of tick damage, but as long as you have any recovery at all, it's not a big deal. Basically for free. The other two modifiers there, absolutely terrible. I would never take them. Or if I didn't really have a choice, just reset the trial. And hardcore, if you die in here, then you lose your character. So it's not worth like committing to bad modifiers that you know will kill you. Like, if the game gives you bad modifiers, just reset the trial. It is literally not even worth doing anything other than that. Because then you're just going to be annoyed that you died to the Chaos Trial. The Val so far, I would just advise killing all the raw enemy. All the enemies that spawn in the room, I would just go ahead and kill everything. It's gonna spawn stuff regardless, but you can kind of just get away with it. It's okay. And we're perfectly okay. The cultists you kind of might want to deal with because they are fast. The stone jaws don't actually do anything besides just run at you. Like, even their running animation, I don't think he even does damage. They could just push you, and that's basically it. So they're not even worth really caring about. Once you complete this animation right here, right there, it stops the trial. Like, you're completely stopped. All the enemies stop hitting you. So on the third one, as long as you can complete the animation before your health reaches 0, you're fine. And there's always a boss after the third trial. After every third trial, the fourth trial would be a boss. I give you a well on.
Getting started.
So out of these three, the lessened reach is always going to be the one I think I would take. Reduced recovery isn't terrible. It's only 40% the first time you grab it, so it's not like... This one's not, like, terrible. It's not ideal, though. It's going to make you have to use your flasks a lot more. And your flasks are going to be less effective. If you're using energy shield, I would say never... Like, I would try to avoid this at all costs. Less energy shield recovery on top of energy shield already kind of recovering slow is not, like, ideal. Monsters cannot be slowed or stunned. This is build dependent. So if you're like a warrior who kind of relies on stunning things to get damage off, don't ever take this. If you're like, you know, maybe just a chaos lich, then this is not that bad, honestly. Like this is very build dependent. This one's not terrible for me, but less than Breeze is less of an issue. Like the projectile speed, it just kind of not matter because we're gonna be close enough that it's not like we're gonna miss. And the AoE kind of hurts our grenades, but it's not really that big a deal. This bird has one attack that can kill us, and it's the rain of nastiness from the sky. We'll see if he does it. He's dead. The bird doesn't have very many dangerous attacks. They made like his little spikes that poke out of the ground have a better tell now, which is the only gripe I had with that boss before. So that's good. It's a good change. It should be more telegraphed to where you can actually see what's going on. So our second point here is probably just going to be decimating strike. You can make an argument for obsessive rituals, but it does reduce your armor and evasion pretty drastically. So I would wait, I think, until later. This ceremonial ablution makes sorcery ward really good. This I don't think we're gonna feel too much. I mean, you can. I like that you can see what the percentages will be. So I'll go down to 45% armor, and I'll go down to 25% evasion rating, which isn't crazy bad. It's just overall that's like a decent amount of defense to lose just for it. And sorcery ward is a skill that because it blocks elemental damage, it's technically counts as a fire, lightning, and cold skill. So you can put plus to the level of fire, lightning, and cold gems. Support gems on it, and those will increase the level of the skill. So that's really good and is worth doing. We can't really do that yet either, because those gems are from tier 5 support gems, which we can't get until the interludes. So this will be like our third probably. If you're playing in softcore and you want to just go pure offense, I would recommend Witchbane and No Mercy, or maybe Zealous Inquisition and then Weapons Master. If you want to do like a weapon swap thing, this is pretty good. But if not, you can do Zealous Inquisition and either one of these that suits your taste. Witchbane and No Mercy are a really good combination, kind of defensive and then kind of just more damage. 40% more damage is a humongous modifier. This just basically makes it so enemy skills have more of a cooldown. Is basically what all this wall of text means. Is you hit enemies, and the more you hit them, the less cooldown reduction they have, so they can't spam their abilities as much. It's good against bosses. Everything else, you're not really going to be. It's not going to be alive long enough for you to feel the benefit most of the time. And if you have enough damage, the bosses aren't really going to make much of a difference anyways, unless you're like fighting Ubers. But if you do stack this up to the max, then the max is like 40% cooldown reduction, I think, that you can take away from the enemies. Then you'll get 40% more damage. So this is really, really strong against bosses. But if you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to. I mean, it's not that big a deal. But I think Sorcery Ward and Ceremonial Ablution are still what I'm gonna end up taking for sure. But I think it's what it's gonna be what I would recommend overall, just because the raw defense that you get from those two nodes is quite significant.
Hear ye! Fresh tidings! The newcomer fixed the fog, but at what cost?
What can I do? Let's deal.
Yeah.
Done. Until next time.
Kind of a shame about this Soul Core. It's like one of the worst ones in my opinion. I don't need bleed chance, and I don't really care about charm charges gained at the moment either. So it's essentially kind of useless. But that was it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. If y'all have any other comments, observations, that kind of thing, let me know how the audio quality is, that kind of thing. Please, yeah, just leave a comment, like, whatever. If y'all want to see more, have a good evening. Take care.